Evan Ferguson, arguably the best young striker in the world at the moment, from making his senior debut against Chelsea to becoming one of the youngest players ever to score a Premier League hat-trick. This is the meteoric rise of Evan Ferguson. Born on October 14, 2004 in Bettystown, Ireland, Ferguson grew up in a footballing family, with his father, Barry, playing professionally for many teams, and his mother, who's actually English, grew up supporting Man United. Evan started his footballing journey at Dublin club St. Kevin's Boys, where he showed moments of magic, carrying his team at times. Even at 10 or 11, Evan was big for his age, but he didn't want to be known for his size, rather his technical ability. So he worked and worked, and after a couple of years, he was noticed by Irish giants Bohemians. He would play in the national underage leagues, and during his last game for the youth side, he scored the winning goal, helping them win the League of Ireland U17 division. But it didn't stop here, and because of his many impressive performances, he got the call up to the Bohemians first team. Leading us to 2019, during the start of the preseason, in a game against Chelsea, his hard work had all paid off, as he made his professional debut for the club. He was only 14 years old at the time, but still got very much involved with the game, linking up play, running down the channels, holding up players with ease, and even his dribbling for a 6-foot striker was very advanced. This is what former manager Keith Long said on Evan's talent.
When Evan came into our academy as a high potential player, the players knew who Evan was before he came into the building, let's say. They knew his reputation in schoolboy football. Nothing fazed Evan. He came into the team. He was around the first team squad, trained with the first team squad on a regular basis. At 14 years of age, I suppose I raised a few eyebrows at that particular time, but as far as I was concerned, it was a football decision.
And luckily for him, after his fantastic performance against Chelsea, he caught the eye of two Premier League teams, Brighton Hove Albion and Liverpool. Both were in awe of the striker, but for Evan, the decision was easy, opting to join the smaller club Brighton instead. When Evan was asked why he chose Brighton over Premier League giants Liverpool, he said, "I went to Liverpool a few times. It's a good club, but you see so many boys at Liverpool just fading away, and there's no chance to get into the first team. I was thinking, do I want to play 2 years of U18s and then go to the U23s and go from there to where?" And that's where Brighton excel at. Because they have a proven track record of developing talent, they are arguably the best place for young players to go and develop. And they kept their promise to Evan, as instead of joining the U18s, he went straight to the U23s, joining Brighton in their quest for the Premier League too. But the transition wasn't as easy as Evan thought. He ended the season with 3 goals and 1 assist in 13 games. And honestly, it's understandable. He's a 15-year-old kid playing against 18, 19, 20-year-olds. This just goes to show you the mentality that he has. Instead of playing in the U18s where he would absolutely score goals for fun, he instead challenged himself in the harder division, despite knowing he's physically not there yet. Moving on to 21-22, and so after his poor debut season for the U23s, his second season would be a lot better, finishing with double-digit goals in 20-some games. And because of this fine form, Brighton manager Graham Potter rewarded the youngster with his professional debut. And so, on August 2021, Evan made his debut for Brighton in an EFL Cup match against Cardiff City. Brighton won the game 2-0, and despite not scoring or assisting, you could just see that he had an abundance of talent. And a couple months later on January, brought his second appearance for the senior side, this time in the FA Cup third round against West Brom. As a 76-minute substitute, he played a crucial role assisting Jacob Moore's equalizer in their eventual 2-1 victory. His impact on the field was undeniable, and just a few weeks later, the moment had arrived that every young footballer dreams of, his Premier League debut. He came on as a substitute in a challenging game against bottom side Burnley. Unfortunately though, Brighton lost the game 3-0. But for Evan, it was a significant step forward in his career. Moving on to 22-23, as he edged his name further in Brighton's history books. On the 24th of the month, he scored his first goal for the club, a moment of personal triumph, as he came on in the dying moments against League One side Forest Green Rovers. And because of his fine form, Brighton rewarded him with his first professional contract. And on December of that year, he made his third Premier League appearance as a substitute. And boy was it a match to remember. In a game against Arsenal, Brighton were struggling. As the young Evan Ferguson comes onto the field, he does the impossible, scoring a goal and bringing the game back into reach, thus becoming both Ireland and Brighton's youngest ever Premier League goal scorer at the tender age of 18. the new year brought fresh opportunities, and on January 3rd, 2023, he took the field for his first Premier League start. In a dazzling display, he not only contributed with his presence, but also found the back of the net in a 4-1 away victory over Everton. As his career continued to flourish, he further solidified his commitment to Brighton, signing a brand new contract until the year 2028, reinforcing his dedication to the club that had given him the platform to shine. And his performances hadn't gone unnoticed. At the end of the season awards, he was crowned Brighton's Young Player of the Season. And finally, bringing us to now, the 23-24 season. In the first game of the season against newly promoted side Luton Town, Evan came on as a substitute, scoring in the 95th minute. But his goal scoring spree didn't stop there, as a couple weeks later he was picked to start against Newcastle United, and boy did he go crazy. He started off the game by scoring a true poacher's goal, as Nick Pope deflected a shot right towards him. Then his second goal was pure magic. As he picked up the ball 30 yards away, he opens his body and bends it into the bottom corner. A true world-class finish. And finally, his third goal took a big deflection, but finishing his hat-trick. This achievement made him the fourth player ever to accomplish such a feat at the young age of 18. Now that you know about his journey, what is his playing style like? Well, Evan stands at 6'2", but he isn't your typical big, strong striker. Despite being very good physically, that's not where he excels at. His elite finishing, dribbling, and link-up play is what makes him a generational talent. His playstyle is extremely similar to Bayern's new man, Harry Kane. And if we look at the stats, they're actually very similar. With Evan's mother having English nationality, if he wanted to, he could swap alliances and join the Three Lions. And he would literally be the perfect Harry Kane replacement. But having played for Ireland's youth teams growing up, this doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Whichever big team he goes to in the near future, they are getting a generational talent in Evan Ferguson. Thanks for watching, take care, and peace.